The legendary Bunny Wailer, the heart of reggae. Bunny Wailer, born Neville O'Reilly Livingston on April 10, 1947 in Kingston, Jamaica, was a key figure in the global spread of reggae music. His influence on the genre can hardly be overstated. A founding member of the legendary group, the Wailers, alongside Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer was integral to shaping the sound, culture, and philosophy that reggae came to represent. His contributions were not just as a musician, but also as a cultural icon, advocating for peace, unity, and the Rastafarian way of life. Early life and musical roots. Bunny Wailer's story begins in the small rural village of 9 Mile, St. Ann Parish, Jamaica. It was here that he met Bob Marley in the early 1950s when they were still children. The two boys grew up together and their families were closely intertwined. In fact, Bunny's father, Thaddeus Toddy Livingston, and Marley's mother, Cedella Booker, had a relationship that further cemented the bond between the two future reggae giants. Music was always a significant part of Bunny Wailer's life. He grew up surrounded by the traditional sounds of Jamaican folk music, which blended African rhythms with European styles. As a teenager, he became interested in the American rhythm and blues R&B music that was sweeping across Jamaica in the 1950s and early 1960s. The influence of artists like Ray Charles, Fats Domino, and the doo-wop groups of the era could be heard in his early work, The Wailers and Reggae's Birth. In 1963, Bunny Wailer, Bob Marley, and Peter Tosh formed a band that would go through several name changes before eventually becoming known as the Wailers. Initially, they played ska and rocksteady, two popular Jamaican music styles at the time, but their sound began to evolve into something entirely new: reggae. Reggae music, characterized by its offbeat rhythm, heavy bass lines, and socially conscious lyrics, emerged as a way for the Jamaican people to express their struggles and aspirations. It was deeply influenced by Rastafarianism, a spiritual movement that identified with African roots and championed social justice, peace, and resistance to oppression. Bunny Wailer, with his soulful voice and deep understanding of Rastafarian principles, helped shape the Wailers' early sound. While Bob Marley was often seen as the face of the group, Bunny Wailer's contributions were essential. He co-wrote many of their songs and brought a unique energy to their harmonies. Together with Marley and Tosh, he played a significant role in making reggae a global phenomenon. Going solo? Despite the success of the Wailers, Bunny Wailer eventually left the group in 1973 after the release of their groundbreaking album, Burning Sheep. His departure was due to several factors, including creative differences and a reluctance to tour extensively, which clashed with his deep-rooted Rastafarian beliefs. Bunny preferred to stay close to his spiritual home in Jamaica, while Marley and Tosh were more inclined to take their message to the world. The Wailers' departure didn't slow him down, though. In fact, it marked the beginning of an extraordinary solo career. His first solo album, Black Heart Man, 1976, is widely regarded as one of the greatest reggae albums of all time. It was a deeply personal and spiritual record, filled with songs that explored his faith, social injustice, and the African diaspora. Songs like Dreamland Rastaman and the title track Black Heart Man became reggae anthems. The success of Black Heart Man established Bunny Wailer as a formidable solo artist. Over the years, he continued to release albums that stayed true to the roots of reggae while also pushing its boundaries. His music was always infused with a message of hope, unity, and resistance to oppression, and he remained a staunch advocate for Rastafarianism throughout his life. Legacy and influence. Bunny Wailer's influence on reggae and popular music cannot be overstated. His contributions to the Wailers helped lay the foundation for reggae's global rise, and his solo work cemented his status as one of the genre's most important figures. While Bob Marley became the face of reggae, Bunny Wailer was his spiritual heart. He carried the torch of Rastafarianism and used his music to spread messages of peace, love, and resistance to injustice. One of Bunny Wailer's lasting legacies is his commitment to preserving the culture and traditions of Jamaica. Throughout his career, he remained deeply connected to his roots and was always vocal about the importance of understanding one's heritage. He believed that reggae was more than just music, it was a way of life, a vehicle for cultural expression and social change. In recognition of his contributions to reggae music, Bunny Wailer received numerous accolades over his career, including 3 Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album. Despite his global fame, he always stayed true to his humble beginnings and never lost sight of his mission to uplift and inspire. 5 amazing facts about Bunny Wailer. 1. He was a founder of reggae music. As one of the original members of the Wailers, Bunny Wailer was instrumental in the birth of reggae. His contributions to the early sound of the group helped define what would become one of the most influential music genres in the world. His distinct vocal style and spiritual approach to songwriting set the stage for future reggae artists. 2. Bunny Wailer's connection to Bob Marley was deeper than music. Bunny and Bob Marley were more than just bandmates, they were childhood friends. The two grew up together in the village of 9 Mile, and their families were close. Bunny's father had a relationship with Marley's mother, which made them stepbrothers for a time. This close bond translated into their musical collaboration and the deep spiritual connection they shared in their work with the work. 3. He won 3 Grammy Awards. Despite being somewhat overshadowed by Bob Marley's global fame, Bunny Wailer was an incredibly successful artist in his own right. Over the course of his career, he won 3 Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album, an impressive feat that solidified his status as one of reggae's most important figures. 4. Bunny Wailer was a devoted Rastafarian. Bunny Wailer was deeply committed to his Rastafarian faith, and it influenced every aspect of his life, from his music to his personal choices. His decision to leave the Wailers was partly due to his desire to remain true to his spiritual beliefs, which included a reluctance to tour extensively. He believed that reggae was a form of spiritual expression and used his music to promote the values of Rastafarianism. 5. He was the last surviving member of the Wailers. After the deaths of Bob Marley in 1981 and Peter Tosh in 1987, Bunny Wailer became the last surviving original member of the Wailers. He continued to carry the torch for the group's legacy, performing and recording music that stayed true to the roots of reggae. His passing in March 2021 marked the end of an era in reggae history, but his contributions will live on forever. Final thoughts. Bunny Wailer's life and career were a testament to the power of music as a force for change. Through his work with the Wailers and his solo career, he helped elevate reggae from a local Jamaican sound to a global movement. His commitment to Rastafarianism, social justice, and cultural pride made him a beloved figure not only in Jamaica but around the world. Although he often stood in the shadow of his more famous bandmate Bob Marley, Bunny Wailer was a giant in his own right. His music, message, and legacy will continue to inspire generations to come, ensuring that his spirit lives on through the universal language of reggae.